and I'm their Black Cat apprentice. This is my mom, Christina, Karen, and Caroline.
And we are here with co-owner Tate from the Wildcat Brothers Distillery in Lafayette, Louisiana. And we are going to make shrubs today and also try some of our shrubs with their wonderful rum cocktails.
Show me a shrubbery!
Aloha! So today we are going to be talking about how to make shrubs, which is a herbal type vinegar. And would you like to describe what a shrub and a vinegar difference is?
Yeah, so vinegar drinks have actually been around since 4000 BCE. Our ancestors started using them around like 18th to 20th centuries to help take their big bounty of fruits that they had too much of, but they didn't want to go bad, because vinegar is basically sour alcohol, so it preserves it. So you can also do herbs with it. That actually helps pull out minerals that help with the body to digest things. So to kind of describe a shrub, I could describe an oxymel, which oxymel is an acid honey, so which is usually mixed with an herb. And then to make a shrub, most shrubs are mostly put with fruit.
So we make 3 specific shrubs, but today we're going to make a special one and for our friends here at the Wildcat Brothers Distillery, and to show you how a shrub is made. Most of our shrubs you can use as like marinades, you can use cocktails, you can make sparkling waters, salad dressings as well. You can use it as a tonic for like digestive aid. It's really good for hydration as well. As she said, it helps to absorb the minerals in your body, and so that you're able to hydrate your cells better. It's also really good for the gut health as well. So it increases the acid in your stomach, as well to help break down, digest your food as well.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, I'm Tate. I'm their cousin. So one of the big things in cocktails now is shrubs. So besides that, do you see any kind of, since it is some sort of acidic acid, is there any kind of interaction with alcohol and the honey, or is it just kind of is there anything that you guys have seen where from the cocktail applications, anything different, or is it the same medicinal principles?
Well, I haven't used it too much with cocktails.
Oh, we're about to.
But we're going to do a lot more with it. But I mean, people have been using it. It's a big phase now in the bar scene to actually bring back shrubs. So yeah, people have been using it in tons, from brandy to rum to whiskey. I mean, there's Schnitzel was used in the Caribbean islands, where they used rum, ginger, molasses, and then it got put more over to the England, where it was called, oh gosh, what's the punch? I can't think of it now.
Is it?
No. Well, I'll have to get back to you on that. But it was a punch that they changed the name and called it some kind of punch. I forgot.
Well, because the shrub, that's one of the great things about having you guys here is seeing. We want to know how to make the traditional shrub. Right. And yeah, we were so excited that you guys are here. So yeah, teach us how to do it.
Yeah. So basically, we use like the folk method, and the easiest way to do that is getting mason jars. So you want to have sterilized mason jars. You're going to incorporate 4 main ingredients in your shrub. So you have any type of vinegar. We use apple cider vinegar with a mother usually, but you can use rice vinegar. You can use balsamic vinegar, you said. The only one you don't want to use is white vinegar. But there's also red wine, champagne vinegars as well. You want to use raw honey. So we have a nice local honey, raw honey. Then you have your fruit. We have beautiful organic blackberries. And then we have organic rosemary. So a shrub includes an herb, a fruit, honey, and a vinegar.
Can I ask you a question? So when you talk about the mother, what's the difference between that and, say, just a regular apple cider vinegar?
So the mother has extra constituents that are really good for
Or probiotic.
probiotics
Gotcha.
within the vinegar.
Yeah.
So it's just more beneficial health-wise.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And on that topic, we always recommend using organic ingredients because if you are going to use it as a tonic for health medicinal wise, you want to make sure that you're using pure, natural, organic ingredients so that you're not ingesting chemicals or pesticides, things like that. And so you always want to make sure that you have really good, clean ingredients when you are making herbal medicines or remedies. And also, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have sterilized jars. So you can just boil hot water, let them sit in there, a minute, 30 seconds, let them dry, and then you're good to go. We don't recommend using bleach. You can use like a food additive if you want to, but usually we just use boiling hot water to sterilize our jars. And like I said, the folk method is basically is the easiest way to make them. And so you can just use, like if you get a mason jar, bar mason jars usually have measurements on the side of the jar. So you want to do 1 part herb, 1 part fruit, and the rest will be your honey and vinegar.
And 1% love.
1% love. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I like that. I like that very much. So I've got this rosemary here. We're going to take it off the stems here.
So basically, any kind of herb. You're
Yeah, you can use any type of herb. So the one thing about herbs, though, there's 2 different. So there's food herbs that are classified as food herbs. So that'd be like rosemary, thyme, a lot of your culinary herbs and spices.
Turmeric, ginger.
Yeah, you can use in whatever quantity you want because it's safe to have those in large quantities. But if you're using more of a medicinal herb, such as like elderberry or what's another one, Caroline? Chamomile, things like that, you want to use a little bit less when you have stronger medicinal herbs rather than a food additive type of.
Or when you're measuring it out for whatever purpose you're going to use it for, a drink or anything like that, you just want to make sure you're not using too much of the dosage. So you would count it down smaller for higher dosage. So you're always thinking of what's in your jar. If it's more medicinal, then yeah, you want a smaller dosage. If it's more culinary herbs, then you can do a stronger dose.
Yeah, and use it more as a salad dressing, things like that.
Does it matter if it's dry or fresh or
you can
flavors?
use dried or fresh. Fresh is usually better. As far as elders, if you're using elderberries, they have to be dried.
Gotcha.
Because they can be toxic without being dried.
But again, back in the day, that's what they were using, is they were preserving their fruit. But also, if you have any that, you can go to the store, the unpretty fruit that can't go, you can just take that and put it, because we also use the honey instead of sugar. A lot of people use shrubs with sugar, and to me, I don't want to create candidas in my stomach. I'd rather heal it. So, but also the honey helps protect and preserve the herb. It's antibacterial, where you have the apple cider vinegar as an antiseptic. So yeah, tons of more health benefits when you're doing it that way. So that's why we use honey. But yeah,
Rather than sugar.
but you can definitely use sugar. But yeah.
All right, so I have kind of just chopped a little bit of my rosemary, put that in the bottom. Then we're going to add in our blackberries.
I'm gonna mush it a little bit.
Afterwards.
So one of the things that I was excited about this, because we have so we're here in Louisiana. These ladies have come to visit us here in Louisiana, and we're always looking at we have a bountiful of different fruits and vegetables and herbs, and we're always looking for different ways to incorporate them into whether it be the shrub or medicinally, or just even as an additive. And I think, you know, as shrubs have grown throughout the country, I think, you know, really being able to come back and telling the people, especially around here, that, you know, you can use the stuff that you grow in your garden to make it into something that you can use as a drink additive for you know, throughout the year.
And that's kind of where we want to get back to and that's kind of our whole goal is to get back to creating your own health, putting it all in your garden, because when you actually plant something, you're actually getting chemicals from your body too that help with your particular problems in your body. So
yeah, that helps with the healing process as well.
You kind of have this connection between the plant and you. So it's really a great thing.
And it also helps with sustainability. So that's really great. And so, like, if you have a large harvest of fruit that, you know, can't be sold somewhere else and isn't, you know, completely, you know, moldy or anything, you can use those. Just cut off the bruised fruit and make shrubs. It's a great way to make flavorings for cocktails or drinks or salad dressings, anything to work with.
Love the use of ugly fruit. I mean, that's like, ugly fruit's beautiful too.
Exactly. It all comes from the inside, correct?
Yeah.
We're all just this shell walking around. So,
Exactly.
And you do want to check your acidity if you're gonna be making your own apple cider vinegar. So you want it to be at least higher than a 5. So.
No, lower than a 5.
Lower than a 5. Sorry, lower than a 5.
Okay, so that brings me to a question. So when we talk about with alcohol, when we talk about preservation, we always look at it from the alcohol standpoint being above 80 proof, so 40% alcohol. So so it's kind of different between, you know, we're preserving with alcohol and you guys are preserving with acidity. Okay, so you said lower than 5?
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. So most of our shrubs run about 3.5.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of where you want your vinegar acidity to be.
And it should also, you can always find it on your bottles.
Gotcha.
Closer to 3 is probably better than closer to 5. So when you get to, you know, getting too alkaline, you can run into mold or things like that too. So you want to make sure that if you are going to make your own vinegars, that you're. So I have filled to the first line with our herb. Then you can go up to the third line, which is about 2 cups of fruit. I put in about 2.5. I just like it a little bit more. You can play with that as far as how much you want to put in there.
Does this have to be an exact process, or is there? I mean, because look, the Cajun people here, we do very few things by exact recipes. So it's like, you know, if it's just kind of a mix of.
That's what I mean by folk method. It's kind of it's a basic outline. So it's usually like 2 cups honey to 2 cups vinegar, and then the rest is the herb and fruit.
Yeah, the herb and the fruit kind of be messed around with.
Yeah.
You kind of want the liquid. You don't want anything when you get to this rim. Things sometimes float. So basically you will be stirring it because these are going to sit. They can sit for a week or up to a month for more flavor. But yeah, that's usually what we do, about a month. But yeah,
at least a month.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but so if you do have floaties in it, because you want everything to be preserved by the honey and the apple cider vinegar, then you just shake them. And then if you're using these, because they do seal good, we have plastic ones, but if you're shaking them, this acidic will start to ruin, and then you'll get tainted shrub. All right, so you will have to use, we want some parchment paper, coffee filter.
Something to protect the vinegar from the metal.
Yep.
They also have mason jars that are plastic lids as well.
They just kind of leak if you start shaking them around. So,
Well, I can remember, like my grandparents here, when they did old canning, it was very much, you know, if you saw the rust in the can, you would throw it away. So it's the same.
But you can use the plastic ones with the parchment paper, and it probably won't leak as much.
Okay.
Also, but
you definitely don't want
you're gonna shake it a lot. Just
touch the metal.
Very sure.
So yeah, like I said, we're gonna put in about 2 cups worth of honey.
Oh wow. I am already in love with this. I mean, I mean, you can.
It's fun. It's super fun. You can get experimental. You can.
I love honey.
This is my favorite part. Like, that's why I love making it and teaching. And those are my two favorite things.
So these guys, this is so good for like coughs, cold, because honey helps with a sore throat. And then you also have the acidic helping you with any kind of the digestive, because most of your problems in your body are all gut related. So this is really beneficial. I just always suggest putting it with something whenever you're working with apple cider vinegar. It's kind of like lemon, it can harm the teeth if you're drinking it straight or stuff like that, or the esophagus and stuff. So that's why we always put it with sparkling water, cocktail, but you can put it on salad dressing. You can just shake it, and it's really, really good on a salad dressing. I've had it as a marinade. Yeah, I mean, have fun with it. My friend made a delicious avocado salad with one of ours. I think it was our goji berry one we made once.
I'm going to add just a little bit of vinegar just to get the honey, so you can kind of move it around, because the next step you want to do before you get it all the way full, because it makes it even harder, is you want to mash everything together. So you can mash your fruit up, and that helps the flavors to infuse.
And we're traveling, so we don't have all of our equipment we use, but you can get like fermentation mashers. It's just a wooden thing with a flat thing on it. But you can also just use like a potato masher, chopsticks, I mean, anything to bruise. You're kind of
smashing it up.
Is there any? So are there any fruits that don't work as well? Because I'm looking at this and the blackberries, and we appreciate you guys using blackberries, because blackberries grow like weeds here.
Yeah, that's why.
And so is there anything? So like, for example, say like bananas. I mean, would bananas make as much liquid, or I mean, is there any fruit
would be thicker.
Okay, gotcha.
But we do use them.
Okay.
Yeah, but we've used bananas before. We've made
mango, pineapple, raspberries, goji berries. Like, we just use dried goji berries. It's delicious.
Yeah. That made a good one too. It's kind of the sky's the limit.
Okay,
I haven't found one that like the fruit would.
And people used to make, like, Roman
Yeah.
used to do raisin wine and plum wine, so yeah.
You can really experiment with. I mean, the basis is to use what you have, right?
Sure.
So, you can kind of basically.
Well, so I can the smell of this with the fruit and the vinegar. Oh, it smells like it. So it's so it brings me back to my old relatives who were making wine in their garages, and also the wine, especially too, of those that have might have turned into vinegar a little bit. But it's the same thing as the apple cider. It still has all of the good stuff, and that smell is. I think a lot of times, especially at the bar, we find a lot of people who get scared with that vinegary smell, and we tell them, it's all about the way you use it. That kind of
exactly.
fits.
That is so true.
Yeah.
People sometimes, it's better when we are at markets to actually be able to have people sample it, because instantly, they're like, whoa, apple cider vinegar, whoa, no.
And then they try it and they're like, oh my god, that's so good.
I did have one guy that was hilarious. We were at children's school, and he's like, what, herbs? He goes, oh, this is the medicine booth. He goes, is everything going to taste horrible? And I go, well, no, you can try it. And he tried the mango fire cider, and he's like, whoa. He's like, I wish I got it on tape, but he was so funny. He's like, I don't know now. I'm so confused. I don't know if I should keep this in my refrigerator for salad dressings and marinades, or if I should put it in my cabinet because it's medicinal and medicine healing. And he goes, or my bedroom, because I could lick this all over my life.
Hey.
So it was pretty funny. But,
well, and that's what we see it like. We do a lot of research here at Wildcat Brothers with cocktails, and just like this, I mean, most cocktails started out as medicine.
Yeah.
So basically, we're healing the world.
Yeah.
Not really. Don't. My lawyer. I'm going to say that on camera. My lawyer, we're not healing the world. We're having a good time.
Sure.
But going back to you said centuries ago, it was very much there's not much has changed in both of these issues. Yeah, yeah.
It's in the Bible that they use vinegar drinks.
Yeah.
To help quench the thirst.
Well, yeah, they used to just
soldiers
because the water was
yeah,
so
soldiers for quenching their thirst. But and then hypocrisy. I always mess up his name.
Hypocrisy.
Yes, thank you.
That guy.
Yeah, the hippo.
The guy that told me. Yeah. The guy that told me.
Yeah, right.
He did a lot of amoxicillin. I can't talk on it. Yes, thank you. See?
We haven't even had cocktails yet. We haven't even had cocktails yet. That's
Right,
great.
we haven't even had cocktails.
Okay, but yeah.
No, he's the one who said, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." So super awesome. So now I'm going to completely fill the rest of the jar up to the top rim to make sure everything's covered with vinegar.
So one of the things that I've seen, so I've had a little experience with pickling, and there's a glass thing that you put sometimes pickling to like weigh it down.
Yeah,
Is that
and
something easier?
you could.
Okay, gotcha. As long as you don't want anything touching the object. Is that?
You don't want. It's not as bad
Gotcha. Okay.
because you're not technically from.
Because you already
It's
have.
more of like an infusion.
So you already have the acid in there.
Yeah.
So you're not, okay,
So
gotcha.
it's not so much as fermentation
Gotcha.
here, so you don't have to worry so much about that and mold.
Yeah.
But you do want to make sure that you're getting everything covered.
Gotcha.
So see the rosemary, I mean,
Yeah.
it floats to the top. So and this one you are going to probably want to shake it every day until you like the flavor of what it is. So I would at least say a week, but like I said, we do ours.
The longer the better. The longer
Gotcha.
the
You
better.
get so much more
You get-
flavor.
Yeah.
Is there any length that's like, is it too long or is it just kind of?
I don't know. They usually say the longer the better, but
Okay,
I
yeah.
don't think you really need to go longer than a month.
Gotcha. Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
I think ours, yeah, you could go 2, but I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
you're
I don't
kind of
know
want
how
it.
much
You
you
kind of
pour
want
with
it.
it.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean,
You've been itching for a month and messing with it, but
if it's good, you want to eat it.
I
Yeah.
probably would go longer than 2 months.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And these will last up to 6 months
Okay.
in the fridge.
Gotcha.
So after you've made your
A
shrub,
year really big.
it's going to potentially, 6 months.
As long as you're not sticking your hands in it or bacteria in it. You know.
Well, if we're making cocktails with it, it may last about a week. So yeah, if we're gonna be making So it's,
But yes, so after you've made your shrub, it's going to sit. You don't want it in direct sunlight either, so just set it somewhere cool.
Cabinet dark.
And just let it infuse. And like she said, go and shake it, once a day or
You can sing
every
to
other
it.
day, things like that, just to help infuse it,
So-
mix it up.
I have a question. So is there like a limit to the amount? So you guys are doing this in a jar. So
Yeah,
would
yeah.
it be, could you also do the same principle, like 5 gallons, or is it, is it better to do
so
small?
we make
5 gallon
those
buckets.
in big old 5-gallon buckets.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
It's a lot easier.
Sure. Yeah.
And we measure.
Well,
We're not doing that, but
It's
Ladies,
kinda-
y'all are in
like I said,
Canadian
this is
country.
how-
This is,
this
You-
is how we make it for ourselves.
Hey, I mean,
you know?
that's one of the things too. Is that we found in the distillery, people are so afraid to experiment and make cocktails,
Yeah.
and sometimes they're so afraid and they don't do it. And I love the aspect of, it's how do you say, the folk way of doing it. That's what we want to do. Is be, don't be afraid to do your own spin on things, and as long as it's not going to poison you, go away. So as long as the acidity's down or the alcohol's up, it's gonna work out.
Yeah, I would just start with culinary herbs.
Yeah.
And then,
And
Yeah.
fruits that you if you got a local farmer, just be like, hey, you got any that you can't sell but that are still good?
Sure.
They might give you a discount. You can go and
So does it matter if if you're looking at, so you guys are in Hawaii, we're in Louisiana, so we have a lot of the berries, but like say for instance, could you do the same thing with acidic fruits like a lime or?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so would you
you
need
could
as much?
totally put lime in here.
Gotcha. Okay, so you can do lime, rosemary, and with everything else.
Yep.
Perfect.
So in our mango fire cider, we use
can add more than
oranges and limes.
Okay,
Or
cool.
lemons, I mean. But yeah, just make sure you're washing the
Blood
outside of the
oranges.
rind
Gotcha.
really
Blood
good.
oranges.
And delicious. What we usually do for those is we'll squeeze them and then put them in there and then, you know, mix them all around so you're getting lots of
But you
flavors
definitely,
in there.
any kind of skin on any fruit, always wash it.
Yeah, make sure it's washed.
I mean, you still want to buy organic and everything, but you always want to wash it. You don't know what has touched that beforehand.
Those rinds.
Yeah.
So let me ask
rinds
you
in there.
this: what's your go-to wash? Because my wife just recently introduced us to a vinegar wash for strawberries,
totally
and I
use
almost
vinegar.
fainted seeing the stuff that came off of the strawberries. I'm going,
Right?
oh my god!
Yeah.
So and it didn't. You know, I mean, we're thinking, you know, just a few seconds under the water. But I mean, if you're going to be doing this, you want to really.
Yeah, you want to make you do want to make sure your stuff, because I mean, again, you're soaking it, it's infusing in there, so whatever it's getting more
It's all your
stronger.
rinds, it's
So
gonna be in
Yeah.
if there's bad stuff on it, you're just getting more of it because it's sitting longer. So
Gotcha.
you just gotta kind of think in that
Sure.
aspect. But yeah, definitely. I mean, there's just so many things you can do.
You
with
can
these.
use regular white vinegar,
Gotcha.
you know, and a little bit of water.
Sure.
Make your own little wash.
Gotcha.
Yeah, your own
Okay,
wash,
yeah.
but not in the shrubs.
Yeah.
Gotcha. No, but as a wash. Yeah, I got
As a
you.
wash.
Yeah, definitely don't use soap on your but
And why we don't use bleach when you're doing the sanitization? Because if we're using the raw apple cider vinegar or the raw honey, it starts to take the probiotic benefit out of it.
Gotcha.
Right? So again, the honey is preserving it and everything. And if you go with a local honey, you're also just helping things with your asthma and all that other kind of beneficial stuff. So allergies is always better. So yeah.
Very cool.
yeah, the allergies. Also with these shrubs, I use this all the time. If you have heartburn, spoonful, man, and it's gone. 5-10 minutes. It's just yeah.
That's a very old Cajun remedy of have heartburn, take a sip of apple cider vinegar,
Yeah.
and it's
It might as well be flavored.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So what's so this is going to be in the cupboard for
At least a month.
Okay, gotcha. Now when you talk about shaking, am I shaking this often or just kind of leaving it in the?
A day, once a day.
Once
Okay.
a day.
Or, I mean, if you
Once
see
every
it
other day.
and you want to
Fine.
say hi to it, then
Yeah.
Gotcha, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just like that. Like that.
Gotcha. Very cool.
It's all good.
Very
There you
cool.
go. And then
And the whiter jars are better. We just traveling again, so we only have.
Oh, yeah,
white
yeah,
ones.
yeah.
So, sorry about that. We should have gave you.
No, well, that's it. That's what. Well, because that's what I'm very curious about how you. Yeah, of using the.
yeah,
the
I should have used that one probably, but
No, that's
that
fine.
one doesn't have measurements. But
Well, because we
fine.
use the different berries and stuff, and I'm very much it's very liquid, so you're gonna want to do that. Is it always depending on do you want it a certain liquid consistency, or is it? I mean, do you want always this kind of consistency and then strain it out?
That's kind of the consistency
Gotcha,
that you
okay.
use. Like I said, bananas or like those thicker fruits are gonna make it a little bit thicker, more sedative.
So the recipe again is by berries and such. You said
So 2 parts
okay,
to 2 parts.
2
honey.
parts fruit.
Yeah, 2 parts fruit and herbs.
Okay, so fruit and herb combined.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And then 2 cups and the rest is vinegar.
Gotcha. Okay, that's very cool. Yeah,
It comes out to be about 2 cups.
gotcha.
And
Very
then when
cool.
you're done, you're gonna strain it.
So yeah, you can use coffee filter. You can use cheesecloth. Works really good.
Just for it to clean. But yeah.
Yeah. And so after the month, you'll go and you can strain it, the cheesecloth, and that's where you're gonna get take out all the fruit pulp and all of the herb, and then you'll just be left with that nice, beautiful infusion.
If you don't press too hard, you won't get a lot of cloudiness. If you just kind of strain it, perfect. If you start pressing a little bit, you'll get a little bit more cloudiness to it.
So let me ask you
It's
this.
up to you, but yeah.
So what do you do with the fruit after?
So for ours, we have a tincture press. So we put them all in there, we tincture it down, really, for all of our tinctures and everything. And then we use the fruit. We either compost it, or we we're trying to make fruit leather.
I have
We
made a jelly out of it once.
We haven't mastered it yet.
So
But
fruit what?
we wanted to make like fruit juice.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The pulp and stuff. But a lot of the juice is out of the fruit, so it's not kind of
Yeah, everything's
something
all the
that,
benefits
you know,
are kind of gone.
Yeah,
It's mostly all in
afterwards.
there.
Gotcha.
But great compost. As
Well,
I said.
Great compost. Yeah.
Because what we do, what we do here sometimes is we like when we have the leftovers fruit wise, pulps and things like that, we'll take it and we will infuse it in syrup. So
There you go.
it is great. So sometimes even with something like a blackberry, it is going to give you a nice, colorful syrup, but you'll still get a hint of the blackberry and rosemary. I mean,
Okay.
we have put rosemary through the paces, and
I'm sure you
and-
could use it again.
and it will always
That
keep
thing
coming
is
back.
so
So I think if you
That's
if
why you
you
gotta be careful where you plant it. But yeah.
well, yeah, exactly, yeah, because it's so once it's kind of strained out, what we've done is we've taken, say just regular simple syrup, so 1 part sugar, 1 part water,
Oh yeah.
and we'll put the pulp, whatever is left in there, and really kind of just
Play with
stir
syrup.
it, yeah,
Stir
and
it.
it really kind of comes out
Nice.
pretty well. Now I'm going to be really interested after to take this to see what the vinegar has to do with it, because we've never done anything with vinegar because it's
Right.
always been high alcohol. But
Yeah.
that's
We did
that's
make
really
a jelly
cool.
once.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. It's just a lot of sugar, so. But it did turn out good.
That's awesome.
That was with we made a guava one.
Guava
Yeah.
tincture, and then
And it turned out to be a really good guava jelly. But
Yeah, it did.
because you're kind of boiling out a lot of the
Sure.
leftover juices, so you can't even.
Yeah, that's where I think it's so the Cajun people back in the day. I mean, we're great cooks because we had to be great cooks. We were living off the land, but as
Yeah.
most people in Hawaii. So we found ways to kind of use everything, and even with the pulp now, we find ways to use it, and yeah, so that's a good thing. I'm anxious
Might have
to
to try
see.
syrup again.
I know.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
a great idea.
And even too, and if you don't want to use sugar, doing honey syrups as well. So 1 part honey, 1 part water, and it really does kind
can
of
try
turn
that
into something.
too, yeah.
Definitely.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
Any way to
Yeah.
use it up.
Actually,
More sustainable, right? Less waste.
well, and that's what I thought. What I love about this is because we here at the distillery, we try to be as zero waste as possible,
That's good.
and we want to, but we really want to use what's coming from the land, and the more we can use what we grow here, but also too enhance 4 or 5 different things. I mean, it's the Cajun people are famous for using everything. So these blackberries, I got about 12 recipes in my mind right now. About blackberries.
I know.
But that's and it can be used just as well if it's if it's just the pulp or the regular.
Yeah. And feel free. You can do 2 different fruits. You can do 2 different herbs. You can play all around. Like in our holy bunches. I mean, we have pineapple, raspberry, and then we use Tulsi basil. But our mango fire cider has a bunch of herbs: ginger, rosemary, moringa root. I mean, we use all different things.
That's awesome. Yeah. I think I'm excited about this because more and more you go to these big high-end bars and they're using shrubs in their cocktails and sometimes we go to these bars and there'll be basically seems like thousands of bottles, but in reality, I mean, we could be doing this in our own kitchens with doing this.
Yeah.
We kind of went with the herbs that you said that you kind of have growing around here.
Sure, yeah.
That you're using in your garden, and you just didn't have lemongrass right now, but like. Totally
I think that'd be great if it was lemongrass.
I'm excited about that because we can definitely.
Yeah, whatever.
I think that'd be pretty good. I think that'd make like
And if
an
you-
awesome lemonade.
You can experiment,
Oh, yeah.
or I mean, we do have Google, so there's lots of books out there that tell you what herbs go good with whatever. So you can experiment on your own.
Well, thank you so much. This has been wonderful.
That's amazing.
And we've enjoyed staying at your place. They were our second harvest host.
Yes,
And
they are
we
fantastic.
super love their hospitality and their rum, and we've enjoyed all your
Thank y'all so much, and we
company.
absolutely, and we'll keep coming back. So
Yeah.
Definitely.
y'all are family now, so get ready. Yes, y'all are family now, so we appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Totally appreciate it.